Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. And today I am Teach Jazz. I am Jazzy the teacher, the real estate teacher, and I had a great idea that I would go through the real estate book with you guys. So this is the book that I'm going to be using to teach you guys how to study for the test. I'm not a real estate teacher, okay? I'm just saying that from the get. I passed my test. It took me like 4 tries, so the 5th try I passed it. And I'm like, maybe God put me in a position to fail my test so many times so I can give you guys the tips and tricks. Cause y'all, I've done seen the test time and time again. And I feel like a lot of the channels on YouTube are like, they're throwing out definitions and they're throwing out content, but like you're gonna need somebody that's gonna go through the book for what it is and just go chapter by chapter. You know, like Future Jazzy here. I'm editing this video and I noticed that I'm pretty tired. So this video is not trash, but I know that moving forward, I will do better with explanations and I will do a lot more story times within my videos to help you remember the content better. Enjoy. It's more so about me sitting down, going through the content and just putting it in regular terms, being able to break the content down so you can comprehend, and it's more of a conversation versus me just throwing information at you and it's too much, okay? Because that's what you got a teacher for, and that's not my purpose. So this is chapter 1, so we don't really need to go over like learning objectives, and like we'll go over the vocab words. I don't think I need to do like a concept web so you guys can understand what this has to do with this, because some of the chapters there's like 50 words and you definitely need a word web because some words are similar to some and it's just too much. But this one we don't need a word web. Overview is chapter 1, y'all. We going over, so chapter 1 is introduction to the real estate business. So if you are not ready to study, do not watch this video now. Watch this video when you are ready to sit down and study with me. Okay? Okay. So, if you don't know, my name is Jazzy the Realtor, and I've been in real estate all my life, but finally got my license in April, and now it's December, so whoop, whoop. This is motivation. You can sell houses, you can do it. You can be something, okay? You can make it. Don't stop. Don't give up on yourself and keep going, okay? Me to you. So, chapter 1, introduction to the real estate business. So, there are a lot of parts of real estate. You got the brokerage, you got the appraisal, the appraisers, you got property management, you got financing, subdivision and development, home inspections, counseling, and education. Okay, so there's a lot of areas in real estate that you can get into, but we're just gonna go off what the book is talking about today and we're gonna leave it at that. Okay, so the brokerage. What is a broker? A broker is like the person, the main person. A broker has a brokerage. So for example, you have, a great example is William Pitt Realty. Most likely, William Pitt is the broker. And that doesn't have to be the case, but to have a real estate firm or office, you need a broker. You have to hang your license under a broker. So you, when you get your license, you are going to be a real estate, what do they call it here? A real estate, you will be a salesperson or a real estate associate or associate licensee. So you are a real estate salesperson under the broker. The broker is like the principal and you are the student. Or you're like a teacher, that's a better word. You're like a teacher. So the broker can decide your commission split. Your broker can decide if they want you at the brokerage or not. They're the principal. Next, You get it? I mean, you got it? We can move on? Okay, next, appraisal. And appraisal is very important because what does appraisal mean? In a few words, think of it, write in the comments. What is an appraisal? What is an appraisal? An appraisal measures value. It measures the market value. That's a better term here, the market value. So market value means what everyone else is willing to pay for the property. So when you go sell your house, right, you just don't put your house in the market for the price that you think that your house is worth. You're gonna put your house in the market similar to other properties, okay? And that's when, in a few more chapters, we'll get into comparables to compare and see what that right price to put the property on the market for. So there's a difference between a list price, which you list your property at, and the appraisal price. So appraisers will go out and they will look at the value of your home. And they base their number not just solely based on the properties in the neighborhood. They also base your house on the value of your home itself. So it's not about the little improvements, it's really about the structural. It's about the neighborhood, right? It's about the actual value of the home itself, the bones. Got me? Good. Next, property management. The vocab word here, they talk about a property manager. So a property manager is someone that's hired to maintain the property. So right now I work for a property development firm, and I work on a property management team. And there's so much that goes into property management. I mean, especially on the commercial side, because I've never been on the commercial side. I've just been on the residential. So this is all new to me. So we're talking about vendors, we're talking about insurance, we're talking about compliance, we're talking about fire alarm systems, making sure that the elevators are correct, electrical. Like, there's so many things that are included in property management. And property management is important because you need someone to maintain your properties, whether it's you or it's somebody that you outsource. Next, financing. Here it talks about financing is the business of providing funds that make real estate transactions possible. Because me, I don't know. I pray to God I will one day, but that's a lot of money. Like $200,000 to buy a condo, like nobody will be buying. So that's why we have financing, and that's why we have lenders, that's why we have mortgage originators, that's why we have all these people that help the buyer in the process to buy their home. Next, subdivision and development. So subdivision is the dividing of a single property into smaller parcels. So let's say you have this big freaking land, a lot. Let's say you have like 5 acres. I don't know, I never learned the calculations for all that. I know it's like 4, 3, 1 something. In the comments below, if you guys know how many feet is in an acre, put it below, because this is studying for y'all. Put it below. Let's say you have a huge lot, right? And you have one huge property, like a mansion, or it could even be like a shack that's just sitting on a property. You can subdivide that into subdivisions, which a lot of people do. And then they're able to sell those subdivisions to other people. Or they'll first build on the lot and then they'll sell it to other people and then they'll make like a lot of money. So that's what they mean by subdivision. And then the development part of it is development involves preparation of a site and construction of sites or improvements. So we just talked about that. Home inspections. Home inspections are very important because your clients, before they buy that property and before they sign that contract, we're getting a building inspection, because anything that an owner is trying to hide, we need to open it up. We need to see what's going on. So the one thing that the hardest thing about building inspections is that you can't, building inspectors are not to knock on walls and to break into walls. They cannot see through walls, right? So if there are issues within the walls of the property and like underneath the property, those are things that we can't inspect. But they can inspect the roof. They can inspect your electrical system. They can inspect They can inspect a whole bunch, but they just can't inspect through the walls and underneath, and they can inspect on the roof. Next. Oh yeah, building inspections, they're around, I don't know, like 4, it depends on the state and the city and how big the property is, but they really range around $300 to maybe $800 a person. I meant a house. Next, counseling. So your job as a realtor is to counsel your clients into making smart decisions, informed decisions. So your goal is to sit down with your clients and say, this makes sense, this makes sense, this might make sense, and this is how we're gonna navigate the real estate market to get what you want. That's your job. Education. So I don't know why this is even in the book, but it says education. Real estate education is available both to practitioners and consumers. Colleges, universities, private schools, and trade organizations all conduct real estate courses and seminars covering topics from principles of pre-licensing programs to the technical aspects of tax and exchange law. So they're basically saying that if you want to get a real estate license, you can, and education is everywhere now. So now we're on the next portion. Types of real property. So we have residential, commercial, mixed use, industrial, agriculture, and special use. Y'all should know these off the bat, okay? So if you don't know, we're gonna go over them. So residential is a single family home or multifamily housing, okay? Residential, like they live there. Commercial is business property, so that could include building spaces, shopping centers, stores, theaters, hotels, and parking facilities. So what I've learned is commercial real estate is really where the money's at. Residential is too, but commercial, everybody just can't get into commercial real estate. Like there's no test you can take or a qualification you can get into commercial real estate. It's a thing that you're a part of or you're not. Like you know the people or you don't. Like your brokerage is a part of it or they're not. Like I'm in commercial real estate because I have a job, like a full-time job in it now. But you have to have clientele that need and want residential space. And that's not, it's easier to get a buyer who wants to buy a house versus a business person that wants commercial space. And that's just in my opinion. Mixed use. So a mixed use property is a property that allows for both residential and commercial. So let's say you at the at the bodega, that's mixed use. Because it's like a store and it also has residential space above. Industrial, so that is warehouses, factories, land in industrial districts, and power plants. I don't think I would ever be in a position where I'm selling land for like factories and all that, but to each is his own. And then we have agricultural, so where people are selling the types of real estate, well, agricultural, where it's farms, timberland, ranches, and orchards. Don't know nothing about that. It is what it is. It's agricultural. Special use, privately owned properties such as places of worship, school, cemeteries, as well as publicly held properties such as schools, municipal service buildings, and parks. So you would need to know somebody, or I don't even know. So that's special use. Okay, so this is the most important thing. In condos, you own the property. You have shared space with the other condo owners, but you own your space. You can knock down walls. You can paint your condo a different color. You can request to make a half bath or full bath. Not saying that'll be guaranteed, but you can. In co-ops, you don't own your property. You own a share in the cooperation that holds title to the real estate. It's called a proprietary lease. That's what you have. And the great thing about co-ops are that they're a lot cheaper and they have more space. But the hardest thing about it is that you can't do anything. Like when you're in there, that is what it is. Like you gotta go to the board to change the walls. For you to even live there, you have to go to the board. There's a certain type of financing that you have to be approved for. So they're definitely harder to get into. Not impossible, but they are harder to get into. But they are cheaper and they're bigger and they're typically a little bit nicer for the cost. I can kind of say that's my opinion, but it really is what it is. The real estate market. The real estate market is called supply and demand. Supply and demand. Okay, that was corny. But no, seriously, we don't have enough houses on the market and now nobody wants to buy. And if I'm being, well, I mean, you guys know the interest rates are going up because something about the government and we owe too much money and they're trying to cut back the spending. So their goal is to raise interest rates so then people stop buying, because in the summertime and like the springtime and a little bit of last year, there was like 30 freaking offers for one house and it was just too much. Everybody was trying to buy before the interest rates went up. And now that they're up, no one wants to buy these prices that are, these houses that are too high and the interest rates are too high. So everybody's trying to wait until the interest rates go down so that they're able to buy more. So there's a lot, there's not, I'm even saying there's a lot of supply, but the supply is coming back. So right now there's some supply, but the demand is all the way up here, but nobody is gonna buy until the prices go down, because the prices are up like this right now. But I think by spring prices will go up. That's just my opinion. So factors affecting supply, and this is very interesting because now we're in a space where these things actually matter. Like before it was like, okay, supply and demand, like whatever, people were still buying and selling. Like right now we're at a halt, not completely, but compared to the summer where things was crazy, compared to the spring where things is crazy, we're a lot, the market has slowed down a lot. So factors affecting supply: labor force, construction, and material cost. So if there are not enough people working and there are not people working on houses, how the house is gonna be built? Everybody employed. If there's not enough materials because the material cost is too high, how are we gonna build? Right now we have an issue, but a lot of places, not a lot, but like here in Connecticut, you can't build out anymore. All you can do is build up, and it's like a whole bunch of old buildings. So it's not, we don't have land really to build out anymore. We only can build up. So if materials are too expensive to buy, to try to invest in into the land that we already have and the real estate that we already have, well, there's no supply because everything is too expensive. So what happens? We just sit. So there's a lack of supply. Then there is a demand up. Absolutely. Is that good? No bueno. It's not good. So labor force, construction, and material costs affect the supply. If we don't have enough, we're gonna have an issue. We won't have enough supply. If we don't have enough supply, that means the demand is going to be too much. Factors affecting demand. So we have a few things. We have population, demographics, employment and wage levels that are going to affect the demand. Financial considerations of the homeowner. So equity is very important. We love equity. Equity means you're making money with your money and time. And another benefit is tax deductions, as well as other tax benefits. I'm not going over all that. I don't think it's all that deep. You don't really need to know. You don't need to know that for the test. Real estate investment. So the advantages of real estate investing are your rate of return. You'll definitely make some money. Control. You're able to control you have more control over your investments than you having control over like stocks, for example. Appreciation. Your house is definitely going to appreciate if you keep it for a period of time. Equity build up. Equity, you will have it, and I just talked about that already, but it's called equity build up. Leverage. When you decide to sell your property, you'll definitely have leverage. tax benefits, as we just talked about, depreciation or cost recovery. So it allows investors to recover the cost through tax deductions, capital gain, and lastly, sell your house to buy another house so that you can avoid taxes. Next, disadvantages in real estate investing. Equity is not cash, so it takes time to liquidate. Active management, it takes time, it takes sometimes money when things are wrong. And then lastly, risk. Everything that you do has a level of risk, and buying real estate I think is pretty low on the risk scale in terms of investing your money if you know what you're doing. Today we talked about a few things. This is the introduction to the real estate business. It's the unit 1, so it's just not like there's a lot to really spill and talk about and like dive deep into, because it's just getting through the content. It's just an introduction. So in the next video I will be going over the Q&A questions. I'm gonna do some Q&A questions to this unit. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, or if you have any comments or some suggestions on how I can do my videos better, or if you have any ideas on videos that you would like me to do, please comment them below. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure you guys study, and I promise, and I know you will be great if you just put in the work. I hope you guys have an amazing night and keep on studying. Jazzy out.